realtor, I'm willing to bet that you have heard of CTAs before, or you've probably used call to actions in your marketing material once or twice. But here's a question for you. Are you using it in all of your marketing material? CTAs are so important. Number one, determine your audience. So I've heard realtors say time and time again that everybody is their audience, that they just want to work with people who want to sell their homes, and they don't get more specific than that. But here's the thing, the more specific you get, the more niched you get, the more results you get. So if you, and this is especially true with your call to actions, so if you're creating a flyer to send out to your farm area and you say call for a free home evaluation, well, you're not really speaking to anyone. You're speaking to everyone, hoping to attract one person who's wanting to sell their house. But this doesn't give a lot of room for people to connect with you. You really want to present yourself as the expert with a specific audience type. So instead of saying something like call today for your free home evaluation, you might want to get specific with the type of audience that you're directing that message to. And it might be first-time home sellers. So if you are trying to direct your message to first-time home sellers, your call to action might change to never sold your home before and not sure where to start, call us today, we can help. So you've changed it from call us today, we'll give you a free home evaluation to hey, we understand you. We know who you are. We understand the frustration of not knowing even where to start when you're trying to sell your home. So let us help you. That is so much more specific and so much more engaging than just call today for a free home evaluation. So step number one is determine who you're speaking to. Determine your audience. Who will your CTA be trying to attract? Step number two is getting clear on what action you want your CTA to take. So something I like to tell people when they're crafting their CTAs is craft them, put them together as if you were talking to your 2-year-old child. You're not going to be overly elegant when you're trying to explain something to a 2-year-old. And that is exactly where you start when you're crafting your CTAs. So if you want your audience to give you a call, then you might say, I want my audience to give me a call. It's not the end result, it's just exactly what you want the action to be. So I want first-time home buyers to call me. That would be where you want to go with your CTA. And just make it extremely basic. Trust me, we'll refine it later. Okay, step number 3 is identifying the result that your CTA will get. It is so important to understand that once they take that action, what are they going to get? What is it that they're going to get? Because in this day and age, it is not enough to just say, hey, call for your free home evaluation. Most people can get that online. So what are you going to give them? What amazing thing are you going to give them that's going to get them to follow through on the call to action? So for example, if you want to attract home sellers in the spring market, you might be enticing them with your free guide on how they can get their home spring ready. And this is a great freebie that you can offer them. And you would say something like, I want first-time home sellers to sign up for my free 5-day makeover, something like that. Just keep it really simple to begin with, and we're still keeping it really simple. We're going to refine it after. So just to recap, step number 3 is all about results. What result are you going to promise your CTA will get? So in this free makeover challenge, they might get a beautiful home for spring. They might get a free guide. They might get a home evaluation. They could get a call with you so that you can answer all their real estate questions. The list goes on and on. This step is just make sure that you know what result your CTA will get. So step number 4, putting it all together. We're going to take all the work you've done in steps 1, 2, and 3, we're going to refine it, and we're going to create a compelling, concise call to action that will get people to want to engage. So here are some things to remember when crafting this CTA. Number 1, focus on one goal and one audience. We don't want to overwhelm people by saying, you're going to get this, this, and this. Call today. It's too overwhelming. Some people might not want 1 or 2, but they might want 3, and they might feel like it's not appropriate to call. So you always want to make sure to stay hyper-focused on one action, one result. Tip number 2, consider the pain points of your audience. So when you're crafting your CTA, it's really great to remember what pain might they be in right now. The first-time home seller, when the spring market is approaching and they know they want to sell their home, but they're overwhelmed with so many options when it comes to realtors, and they just don't even know where to start. You identifying that you understand that specific audience could mean the difference between them calling you and calling someone else. So identifying, being specific with who you want to speak to is so important. Number 3, use action words that promote urgency. So instead of saying, call us, you might want to say, or contact us, you might want to say, call us today. Hurry, offer expires in 24 hours. These create urgency so that your audience knows that they need to act right away. And these work really, really well. Tip number 4, refine, refine, refine. So when you're crafting your CTA, you might have a 3-sentence long call to action. When you're done, you've established your audience, you've established what they have to do, and you've established the result. Well, now you have 3 sentences of information, and it's way too long, and people aren't going to read it, so you have to refine it. So the best way to do this is to look at how you can take those 3 sentences that you have and just make them into one. You really want to keep your call to action short and sweet, but still be impactful. So this might take you a little time, but if you just work at it, it'll get easier and easier and easier with every call to action. So now that you have your perfectly crafted call to action, where do you use them? Here are some examples of places that you can use call to actions. E-blasts, social media posts, blog posts, pop-ups and opt-in bars on your website, print marketing, videos, property marketing, business cards, and property websites. You can use these everywhere. And did I mention social media? Yes, I mentioned social media. Social media is a great place for call to actions, and a lot of people forget that if you ask them a question on your posts, people might engage with you. So you really don't want to post things and just say, just listed. You might want to ask a question to engage interaction with you. So here's the thing, a lot of realtors underuse call to actions. So if you take a look at your marketing and take a look at your audience and what you want them to do and what results they're going to get, your marketing is going to be 10 steps ahead of most. So all you have to do is spend a little bit of time trying to craft compelling call to actions across the board. And once you have those established, you can use them again and again and again in your marketing. So it's kind of like do it once and then use them over and over and over again. And this will put you leagues above the rest. There you have it, your guide for creating compelling call to actions. And if you're still feeling a little stuck, make sure you download our 50 compelling CTAs for realtors. Link below. See what I did there?